Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Aries Sky Rita Lee's video blog. Please excuse me, I've been sleeping. I got an update for you. Personal update comes after your stimulus update. So, the last few days, I said I would get on here momentarily to do a stimulus update. So here I go because I have school in less than an hour and a half, and I've asked Chloe to clear up the table so I can get um, my access to my printer. And then on top of that, I told Chloe to get off her ass to get to the library or the post office, which she's graciously said she would because she's got Christmas cards to get mailed out. So I got all my cards ready to go. I've just been so busy with everything else. So, uh, there you go. So, anyways, I want to make this brief and short. I'm not feeling too well. So, I'm not doing too well. So, your stimulus update. You see, I'm having actual pain around here, and Dad's telling me it's muscle related. Right here, muscle related, or it's probably he's hoping it's nothing, but I've been having muscle pain or something right around here. So he said I strained it. So So basically, I've been telling my moderators recently that on stimulus checks that we would be screwed over no matter what, and um, I want to say we've been screwed over so far. For they want to they want to give less uninsurance money, and to do that, they want to make everyone feel good with $600 stimulus checks, but at the same time, they're not going to give stimulus checks to the six types of people on disability or disability insurance, SSI, retirement survivors, veterans, or railroad. However, I will tell you something this morning. All right, a couple things. Got an email this morning from Sister Pee Wee. I got up this morning. I was into it, and we're not waking up, and we had some videos. I got to go through them, but right now I want to get this out of the way so I can get prepared for school because my teacher is starting to question the validity of me being normal due to the fact that my teacher thinks that I'm being neglected. Not just personal neglect, but self neglect or abuse, and that's something I wanted to share with you all. Okay, my father in law went through the video last night, the one that Chloe ranted and raved on. Let her rant and rave. I want to tell this to Pee Wee directly. Let her rant and rave because you don't understand, but have you ever heard it in the beginning of the video? I mean, literally, the beginning of the video, she's basically admitting to the entire world that there's abuse of me. She's literally mounting to him. My father-in-law said, if you guys didn't pick that up, well, you guys are more interested in her trying to protect me. Two, I'm literally doing this video to let you know a couple things. Stimulus checks. We're being screwed over. I got the news this morning. Now, I went to bed a little later than usual because I was handling stimulus checks off and on, but I also was doing other personal issues yesterday, trying to get Christmas cards put together. Now, I'm not in the best mood. Like I said, I'm having a minor dull pain up here, but that's probably muscle, Dad said. But I want to thank my moderators um, for other things, So I had a bad night last night, all right, very bad night. But your stimulus update, like I said, is pretty good, all right. So, your stimulus update will be, we're waiting. Last note I found was stimulus checks are uh, delayed or not even in existence. What I keep telling you people. So, because we are the 9th of. See, I look at the calendar. I don't even know what day it is. All right, morning, big. Um, So I have to tell you guys, stimulus check updates are different, because the stim updates are the 9th. Okay, they're trying to get the bill hammered out and signed by the 11th for the extension of the unemployment, or not the unemployment, the so hold on, let me have my morning coffee so you guys can see I'm actually human and not a robot, because frankly, I haven't woke up yet. Okay, so my morning Joe, good coffee. Morning, big. Um, so the continuing resolution basically states the American people, gonna have to have it. If they shut down the government, they're doing this spite the Republicans. Now, there's a lot of backwards backwash coming, but before we continue, I do want to say I got a message this morning that I felt blessed. Figured I'd get on before she finds out. So, just to let you know, I got a message just from morning from my cousin. She said, Chick-fil-A nuggets. I don't mind Chick-fil-A. Chloe, of course, throws a shit fit in. My cousin, when her were in a car together and they were going down freeways first, and the Chick-fil-A was first, my cousin Dinky would go straight there and piss Chloe off, which we'll get to Chloe in a second. But I want to let you all know my new laptop's been ordered. So now I just got to figure a way to get it shipped to me so we have no trouble. Next computer will be there soon, but we also got to wait to see what happens. I might have my cousin hold on to it a little longer because of whatever reasons. But, you know, anyways, about Chloe's video. So if you look at the beginning of the video, she clearly states, 3 or 4 times. I watched it last night with my dad. He was picking out little pieces of it. We use Zoom, and he clearly states, that everyone that basically was angry, okay, because I got a couple of emails. All right, let me explain the emails that I got. A couple of emails were like grump emails. The grump emails was like, um, grump emails is like, uh, what the hell? So you got a girl salmon fishing on a river. All right, so uh, my cousin Dinky knows I need to go live for a bit too, so she watches me all the time. But um, this has to do with Dinky too. So this video, stimulus checks. Personally, the government's trying to turn around and give only the businesses and the ones struggling the money, um, which is um, not good, because the American people are going to throw shit fit, and if they pass a bill, the Americans are going to be royally pissed off, and they're going to basically give hell one way or another. They're going to give hell. Now, a second thing that's bad is I've seen most of the things. I've even looked it up. Me and Pee Wee are on the same page, but we're not on the same page because there's a few things that I would like to address to you all about a couple of issues. One is, I'm not going away. Okay, people think, oh, after, I had one person say, delete your account or delete this or delete that. Something. I mean, I woke up this morning reading it and I was really broken. I was broken, and the reason I was broken is because you know I'm going through hell, but there's many reasons for it, and I'll explain it. So, um, You're all good people. I was gonna send another gift card out to to So the guy turned. Yeah, so at least he wasn't mad. This minister emailed me, told me to print out this stuff, so I was like, oh, good, good. No, I don't have to worry about it. So I got page follow the highlights in page 5. All right. So the minister messaged me and he said something about whatever. So you guys are looking to get screwed over. They're gonna do on it. They're gonna try to get everything passed by the 18th, and they're gonna shaft everyone around. And again, they don't think the American people, the people on the benefits are going to have unemployment or etc. Of course, I'm not feeling too well, everyone, because like I said, my pain's up here, but I also have been crying and crying a lot. Last night I cried and I cried and I cried probably for about off and on for 6 hours. So I cried for 6 hours last night. And I'll explain why, because this is something you guys don't understand completely, alright? So Big, what's up? You haven't been talking, just listening. I'm happy my new computer's coming. But anyways, I got a message from one of the moderators asking about censorship on my channel for the election results, because she's very pro-Trump, and there's a lot of people on my channel that pro-Trump, but a lot of my people on my channel don't literally want to know about the election results, what's happening. And frankly, there's people out there that are pro-Trump. A lot of them are looking at all the evidence and stating that there's no election fraud. Unfortunately, we're coming down to the wire, and the real problem is I'll tell you what was going through my mind. I could have just said fuck. Sorry. I could have said the heck with this. See, I'm trying to clean up my vocabulary too. Again, I cried because of many reasons. But anyways, I could have cleaned up I'm trying to clean my vocabulary up. So, a lot of people are basically worried about losing their home, their car, and everything. So, even with this cheap shot, coronavirus stimulus, package that they want to pass, there's nothing on it for, you know, they're not posting news on it. They're basically hiding it. And when they do release it to the media, the American people have been going ape. You got people like me turning around and making the video and telling you exactly how it is. Okay. Unfortunately, fortunately, it's not good, but one of the moderators was asking me about political things. Well, there's two reasons why, one, you got to look at the video from Chloe's perspective. She is, I've seen it, okay, 4 times in the video she's admitted, in the beginning it was 2 to 4 times the word abuse. She's like, I abuse Rita. I abuse Rita, I abuse Rita, I abuse, right? So, people didn't even pick up on that. They're just like, oh, okay. Then, you got into her attacking the person who basically asked her if she was a dude. Okay, it literally just said, "Hey, are you a man or a woman?" Chloe flipped. I've seen that. Me and Dad saw it last night twice, before he went to bed, and anyways, the fact of the matter is, when you look at her, she went after Trump, the Trump cards. She didn't even know if this Bing Bing or Clink Clink or whatever their name was actually was um, a a Trumper. Then, when I got up from my nap, she basically said, "Oh, you're gonna like it. It'll keep everyone off of you and not bothering." But today, as you know, I have school, so I have to did it. Now tomorrow, I don't have school unless Dad cancels his Masonic Lodge, which means my next meeting with Dad will be Friday. Which means I'm hoping to get tonight after I get my schooling done. I can go do some other things to get things done. But I wanted to get up here this morning because I have a couple things to share with you that are disturbing, okay? Disturbing to me, but disturbing to the rest, okay? Moderator was asking about, censorship of the election results. It's like, you want to go and have a debate, here on this channel, you should, but there's 2 problems with elections. Okay, there's 2 problems with the elections. Okay, now I said in my other video, I want to get the inauguration over and get this election behind us because it's just dragging it out, and literally, if everything's locked in, I don't think the powers of Texas will have what they have, but me and my family, we just don't care. I mean, literally, you look at it this way, right? You got a president elect that has money. You got a president elect doing everything he can, which a lot of people, it's not their president elect, but he's the president of the country. So and so all these things are saying, look, Donald Trump's trying to. Have the big, you read the places where they say, he's having a bigger temper tantrum. Oh, he's having a temper tantrum. He doesn't want to leave the office. He wants to be president for life and all this crap by Chloe's standards, right? And everyone else's standards, mainstream media. But you look at the mainstream media, they're just basically telling the newspapers, give up. You can't win. You can't be a patriot. You can't win. And I'm getting to the point where there's 2 problems with the election and the coming up inauguration, and I'm getting tired of. How do I say it without pissing off anyone? I'm getting tired of, you know, people not listening to me. I'm not a. Some think I'm a prophet. Okay, some people think, oh yeah, Rita was wrong. President Trump won. Well, by the Almighty's own visions to me, um, he lost. Okay, and I'm sad. I'm very sad. I'm in the middle between, dealing with Bidenites, which is my father-in-law, and what I believe in, and everyone knows what I believe in, but there's nothing I can do about it because I'm the one that's suffering. I'm suffering at the heart of almost a mental breakdown due to the fact that my family last night was worried about me. I mean, literally, I ordered some more Christmas presents for my sister Teddy, because she wanted board games. Apparently, her basement was flooded. I mean, can you believe that her basement's flooded? I think that's what she said. She said her basement was flooded and her daughter's apartment was flooded during the big floods over Colorado. So you guys are wondering, some people say, well, why aren't you doing much on politics? Well, I'll tell you why. One is my video channel. My cousin Dinky likes to watch me because she's unemployed. So she likes to watch me at home. Same with my cousin Corey. But my cousin Corey and my cousin Tara, cousin Corey and cousin-in-law Tara Dinky, they don't want to watch a video that's all directed at stimulus checks and the election. They've already given up that their president lost. And because of it, I thought I would get on it this morning to let you know. That's one of the reasons why I tried to keep out politics. The other reason I try to keep out politics, hey Mop, how you doing? Has he been itching less? Yeah. All right, the flea pill's working. Come here, let me see my little boo-boo. Looks like it's sunny out, so it shouldn't be so dry. Good morning. So, look at him. He also had a bath, so that's why he's clean. Hey, what's up? Good morning. Last night we were worried he threw up some food last night. He shoveled in some food, ate some water, and drank some water. And this was like 25, 30 minutes after he ingested his pill. So we were worried I had to go up to get another pill. But you know what? I would have bought another pill for this baby any day. Oh, come here. We're going to get you cleaned up, Moppy. And you won't have any... Oh, you kissed me. God means the world to me. So, anyways, the reason why it wasn't that is because my family, the thing's over, and during the election, they got tired of me debating with other people over it, and they kept leaving my channel. And the reason for it is they were upset, and I'll explain why on that. Hold on a sec, I gotta check my squeaky joints this morning. That's a joke for creaking this morning as I'm too old to get up. Anyway, so let me get down to the whole thing. You guys are probably were wondering about this whole crying issue. Besides crying for the American people, I was crying for all of you. Every one of you. You see, I saw 4 movies last night on Amazon. Hard movies. Hard to swallow. Dad recommended. First movie we watched together, Chloe loved. Chloe actually got down because we did one of those viewing parties last night. The second movie got me up, and I started crying off and on for the second movie, or the second movie me and Dad did, or the first movie in a movie series. It opened up my heart, and I cried. And if you notice, I haven't looked over the comments because I'm trying to get my point across before reading things. I just want you guys to hear what I have to say without me dwelling on comments, because usually I come in there to talk and some see if anyone wants general chat or comments, as long as they're not trolls. But so I was crying last night for a good reason, for a great reason. You see, between my family, Corey, Tara, they're awesome. I want to thank them wholeheartedly for picking up my pooter today. Yeah, that's right. You heard it from me. My pooter. She's in the other room, so she won't know. So she's making arrangements. She won't let me down. I printed out the one I needed. I need to check on it. If it's up in price, they'll let me know. But they're not. They'll let me know, right? So, in the meantime, the next window of opportunity for Chloe's computer will probably be her birthday or be nice. I'll try to shoot a window for the window time frame will be February to March, which should be fine for her with the way she's doing things. She isn't gone by then, which would be a blessing too, but we won't go there. Now, why was I crying? Have you ever seen something so touching in a movie? You gotta cry and cry and cry. Had to happen to me last night. You see, while everyone is running around, while everyone was around, sitting there worried about Christmas and Christmas and Christmas, I was worried about all of you. Not just me, not just Hannah, everybody. I got on my knees and I prayed. This isn't about me. This ain't about you. This is about everyone. And you can sit there and say, well, how is it about everyone? Well, think of it. We're living in dark times right now. Dark times. Everyone's worried about the Donald Trump and the election. Whereas my family, they're worried about getting through the winter time unscathed with enough supplies to get back to work. I cried because of all the lost souls. You see, let me tell you what the movie was about, okay? Before you guys sit there and say, oh, it's just a sappy movie. When my dad played the second one, I thought this is going to be boring. All right. Now, I'm a minister of God. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. Jesus is my Messiah and Savior. If you believe in Jesus and you try to follow what he teaches, you're good as gold. I still got to get to my Bible time. So what happened? No, Chloe didn't cry. Chloe doesn't care about religion. I was crying for Chloe too. I was crying for everyone, especially Chloe. You see, the movie is about Jesus. Now, you guys can sit there and say, oh, well, whatever. You see, I don't talk about religion much because that's another, you talk religion, unless it's in a proper context, my family leaves. So if it's religion or politics, they will leave. They want to hear about me, my adventures, what Chloe's done, etc. They don't really want to hear about politics. Politics to them is over. Religion, well, everyone, religion's bad. Okay, let me just say, you don't believe in religion. What you do is you worship God. You don't need to go to church to follow religion. All right. Unfortunately, the movie basically was there's this woman who has a daughter. The woman has problems. By the way, problems, and she wants to go to this nice restaurant, but her husband's got baseball game for baseball game. And so she's angry. So she goes to work the next day. She wants some quiet time because her daughter was out gonna hang out with someone. So what happened? She goes to work. She's a high-priced, expensive lawyer. She goes to work. And then what happens? She gets an invitation to dinner with Jesus Christ. Now, at first, she's skeptical. Oh, guy's insane, But as they're eating their big dinner, and the wine and everything, and I don't remember who paid for it. I think it was the waiter basically gave the meal free. I don't remember, But anyways, the guy turns around, but Jesus worked for it. That's the thing. Jesus literally worked for everything, And he's sitting there and he's teaching her, that's religion bad, believing in God good, and he explains it in detail. He explains it in detail. One of the things that made me cry was the way he said it. Everyone gets to be choosing their own free path and free will. Now, I always try to keep a quiet eye where everyone can have me to a point online without arguing. Without, if my family says, drop the religious act or the religious crap, I should say, then I do it. Now, if my family comes around and said, look, we're tired of Chloe abusing you and abusing you over elections. You're going to be dead by Christmas of 2021. You better get your head out of your ass and not talk about religion. It's killing you. That's the thing. Doctors have said this. The religious political thing is causing me to have a heart attack. I mean, literally. My cousin Dinky messaged me the other day and said, did you see the video? I had to make a ham. I have to prepare a ham. You guys get to see me get ready to fill the dishwasher up because I got to do that while talking to you. But the point is, I'm not going to brush my hair by that. Point is, and by the way, earlier I said something that was like self-neglect or neglect. The problem isn't that, okay? And there's the problem. The problem is, and I don't bring up, I do bring up Chloe a lot. Mind you, I shouldn't. So Chloe turns around and once in a while she gets a harebrained idea like the video. I'll just leave it up because, in the beginning she said, 2 to 4 times, she abuses me. And other things, but at the same time it shows she's angry at the election herself, but she drove me election madness. So basically my health is going down the toilet due to the fact, good morning, Mark. Due to the fact that the American people are suffering, and we're suffering for it because, for example, me, I'm going through a lot. And now you guys want to know about the crying. So I was crying because Jesus said in the movie, which is true of the Bible, that if you truly believe, you're saved. God died the ultimate punishment in human form as Jesus to take away the punishment of death. Fortunately, some people just don't want to believe in religion, but they're more worried about politics. Or if they're not worried about politics, they're worried about religion. So there's two sides of everything, right? Now you got to ask, well, how does this play out for Chloe? Because I know Kimmy's there asking, well, what about, probably. Anyone who doesn't believe in God can make the decision that there is no God. It's their decision, as Jesus said. The guy that played Jesus, great actor, by the way. He said, anyone who doesn't believe him or God, then there's worse than death. There's punishment in hell. I have a patience of a saint, and I cried for all those people that don't want to believe in God. It's their choice. But I cried. I wept, and I wept, and I wept. One person, guy said, at the end of when judgment happens, there's the regrets. They didn't enjoy life more. They were worried about following a checklist, following a do's and don't list. It made me sad. Hey, Mark, why would I want to basically cry for Joe? Joe basically lied to me. But yeah, I cried for all humanity last night, all the lost souls that aren't going to get into heaven because people who don't believe in Jesus or God, the non-believers, won't be getting into the new kingdom of heaven or earth. They're sent away locked up. Another reason why I cried wholeheartedly was for Chloe. I wept for her. You see, I've tried to guide Chloe time and time again to save her soul. Fortunately, there's no way to save it unless she actually truly believes and releases all the bitter anger and hatefulness. She won't. She lives. It's like Star Trek V, where you got Spock's half brother Cybok trying to remove everyone's burden that makes them who they are, or the pain. Well, with me, you guys could sit there and say, "Oh, Rita must have watched the sappy movie." No, it was. I mean, look, a lot of people don't realize, and I'll get to the other movies too, because there was more than one that made me cry. I mean, look, the guy turned around, took care of a lady to a fancy dinner, paid the bill because he tried to explain that when her dad died, when she was way younger, like 20 years ago, she prayed to meet Jesus and to discuss, so he explained it, but he also said, if you truly want to believe, here's how you do it, but if you're a non-believer, well, one of the things I don't talk about much is religion, but I wanted to talk about it today because it warmed my heart to tell you the story. I mean, literally, you don't understand, that I was weeping for not just Chloe, but the main principal was Chloe, but the secondary was always all the people around, The secondary, was the world. I mean, when people dwell in the world, people do not see God. When people dwell in the world and they basically dwell on everything in the world, but not God, we have a problem. They're focusing on their phones. They're focusing on their tablets. They're focusing on their emails. I mean, God had a master plan eventually make mass communications and mass this and mass that. God knows, and God's always with us. The movie was beautifully illustrated. Beautifully illustrated. God loves everyone. God's asking you to come. All right, so thank you for being patient. Now the dishes look a little different. Where the heck? Oh, here it is. Okay. So last night I had to get another thing of paper towels. Where did it go? Oh yeah, I gotta refill that one too. I mean, literally, Chloe. I keep filling it, but I also keep saying the trash needs to be taken out. So which let me just tell you my thoughts on God. All right. So while I was crying, the movie touched heart, literally. Then I was sad. I was sad because the movie touched my heart, and the movie was great. And then I got sad again. You see, crying. So many people at crossroads. I don't know what to believe. People say, "Oh, I've been blessed well because I worked my ass off and I got everything I needed," but they didn't put God in it. And then when judgment happens, well, those people's souls are lost. Take Chloe, for example. So I want to talk about on this general chat update. Chloe gets angry and bitter. She doesn't take all that anger. I used to have anger like her and bitterness, but I put it away. My husband guided me. Jesus guided me. God guided me. But now she lives in a world where you wrong her. She can't get past that God loves her unconditionally. And that's the problem. People don't realize God loves you unconditionally. He's saying, "Come to me. Follow me. We're all going to be okay." Instead, people are busy in their own lives. They think everything is based on whatever. Yes, Kimmy, she pays half the rent. She doesn't pay the electricity or the internet. Chloe doesn't cry, okay, Kimmy? Before you sit there, and I don't need to go. Well, I do cry in general for everyone, but when it came to Joe, no. Even Mark knows Joe's gone. And for good reason, but we won't go into that. So, let me continue. So, part 2 of the movie, there's a second part, which is part 2, a sequel. 10 years happens, it's the same crossroads as the lady that found Jesus and had dinner with Jesus. This time, Jesus is a traveling companion. She's sitting there, and she's sending her daughter off to a school that didn't even accept her into a college. And as she's going through the airport, and as she's trying to find her calling, Jesus appears to her at the airport. And they go from Chicago to Texas to Portland. And as the way, they discuss a lot of the same things in a different theory for the younger generation. And the younger generation, and as she's flying, the younger generation, she's flying, and they get into Dallas, and she's sitting there. She's got up. She bought a couple magazines for the plane. She had a conversation with him after telling one guy off about, the guy saying, "Oh, you need God in your life." And all of a sudden, Jesus is sitting next to her. And as they're flying, they make a bond, a connection. They get into Dallas. They have coffee and cake. She's getting ready to pay. And Jesus says, "Don't worry about it. Let me take care of this for you." And she and them talk. And then he's sitting there. And they're talking. And he says to her, "Look, I don't want to be a poor sport, but they're boarding our plane. We should get on board." She says, "How do you know?" He said, "Trust me." They get to the gate, and she doesn't understand it. But by the end of the time she gets to Portland, he leaves her a message. Check your messages when you get in. She was going to go to Portland to stay away from her family. Instead, she got it. She clicked. She knew what she had to do to be saved, and she did it. And God, well, put her into the Art Institute in Portland. And I cried. Again, people that don't want to accept Jesus in their life and they go on their own path, like Chloe, they can't be saved. They can't be saved. They don't want to be saved. They want to live in misery. It's not demon possessed, it's a mental illness, which I would hope God would have some sympathy, extra sympathy for the mentally ill, but mentally ill people still have to come to God. There's people out there that have bipolar, borderline, possible schizophrenia, and all this crap. And the only thing getting him through life is God. Look at one of the famous princesses who was from Denmark and Norway and Greece. She was the mother of Prince Philip, the Queen's husband. And yet she had schizophrenia and all this stuff, but she became a saint. She looked after the poor. People think of me as a saint, but I cried. But where does it end? That's 2 movies. Well, I put in part 3. Again, same guy playing Jesus, just older. At the end of the first movie, he walks away in his true robe. He doesn't like suits. Second one, he's just wearing, average clothes. And the third one, he's sitting there, and this girl, same woman from the first movie, she's in her 40s. She's having a midlife crisis, her husband this and her husband, that. And she's throwing a fit about her mother, who basically, she went to get stuff in Cincinnati. Her mom and her got into it, and it was all about her religion, and she fell from God's graces, or she thought so. But as the movie progressed, you could see how it changes. So after she leaves Cincinnati, her car breaks down on the side of the road, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, she's sitting there and she's like, great, I'm on the phone, and she's getting angry. Oh, yeah, I need to get my car repaired. And, my car broke down. And lo and behold, she looks up and there's Jesus with a gas can. And he says, hey, you're out of gas, lady. And she's like, my gas tank's fine. And he's like, you want to argue with me, Nikki? You really want to argue with someone who knows your gas gauge is faulty? And she's like, puts in the gas. He says, let's go. Let's get in the gas thing. And then throughout the road, he basically doesn't want to, eventually, and he teaches her, again, how the connection, the Holy Spirit, etc. In the way, he stops and meets a guy who is religious too, and Jesus buys this guy pie and coffee, from he came out of a porn shop or something. But in the end, the lady realized, and as she's getting, as soon as the police pull her over, Jesus disappears. Like I'm not, but she's like, great, and it was just her. Guy thought she was insane, but as she was driving to the hospital, she saw a guy who broke down, gave him a lift. Turns out to be a minister who was talking about what she needed to hear. She gets to the hospital, checks in. The minister's going to the same hospital because his wife's having a baby. She picks him up on the side of the road. As she's going to go see her husband before the movie credits end, she looks over and there's a little black child playing a video game. And she said, oh, that's pretty cool. She looks in, there's Jesus playing the game with her. And the girl's like, I got to go back to bed before I'm in trouble. He's like, no problem. She sits down for a minute. And again, he says, this isn't goodbyes. And he explains in the car, again, some more of what needs to be done. Again, made me cry thinking about all the lost souls in this country that they just don't care. They think of the worldly possessions, the worldly stuff. God said, if you believe in me, you cannot believe in the stuff in the world. the worldly possessions. And if you dwell on the stuff in the world, then you have no part of me in the kingdom of God. And then finally, the last movie. Same guy, same character, Jesus. This time around, spoiled brat kid. Doesn't give two craps about anyone's birthday except her own at Christmas. Well, she's basically having a hard time with divorce and everything. It turns out that in the end, she basically got money from her rich grandma, and in the return, the city, let's just say, she learns about Christmas. She learns about where the nativity scene comes from, and Christmas carol music, Santa Claus, and she does a huge history, and she goes all the way back to Jesus' birthday. Now, a lot of people get that misconstrued. It was actually born on the year of the Pisces, so month of the fish, but Christmas was changed to winter solstice on the 25th by the Catholic Church. So his birthday was changed. But if you look at the real birthday, you can find that Nissan. I believe it's like Nissan 9 or something. But anyways, something like that. It's been a while. But in the end, again, I cried because, the little girl changed. She basically changed, As she was leaving, what was sad was the first three movies was about a mother and a daughter, falling off the apple tree, but the fourth movie was heartbreaking because all these people shopping, and she basically meets up with a person who says, "Oh, call me Jess," Jes, Jess. Well, in the end, I cried because city council, the city council forced the nativity scene to be taken down as people got upset and rebuilt it. And then in the end, good morning, Kale. And then in the end, the city was going to fine them $5,000 because of it. So every one of these people donated money to pay the fine. And in the end, the council said, look, a guy named Jess, the pastor was saying he was a drifter, a bum. And he basically goes in, speaks, and says, look, this is what Christmas is about, yada, 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 and he leaves. Well, at a Christmas party, everyone's having a party. The money was donated. Even the little girl donated her $200 for grandma to, the get out of jail card thing. And everyone donated. They basically, And in the end, Jesus came for two reasons: to teach the city about Christmas, and two is it's not about presents and more. And it made me cry. Everyone's always fixated, on more presents and, not about having dinner and spending it with family and celebrating Jesus' birthday. And in the end, what's sad was this girl. She opens up a Christmas present. Jesus is a carpenter, so he built the nativity scene. He took and made her of his own hands because she loves horses, a wooden horse. And it says, Merry Christmas, Max. Max is for Maxine. Love, Jess. Well, he's sitting on a mountain overlooking all this forest, and he opens up a card. See, I can't hold it together. Card said, Merry Christmas, Jesus. She knew who he was, looked like him, acted like he knew the carpenter. She never thought Jesus was come down in human form, but he has. People just don't know it. Jesus is all around us, looking in on us, making sure we So it made me sad. People are going to be lost souls. People are dwelling on material possessions, but they don't know what they have until it's too gone. People regret not doing enough on their deathbeds, saying that, I cried. I cried for Chloe's soul. Chloe won't watch those movies. To her, it's too boring. Now, if it's murder and guts and blood and gore, she'll watch it, but a religious movie doesn't appeal to her. She's doing errands because that's what happens. And besides, here's the problem, Kimmy. Before you go and give me the third degree, I made a deal with Chloe. She cleans, she gets a new laptop. The errands, you want to know why she keeps me inside? I'll tell you why. It's because I have heart disease, severe heart disease. And I'm not going to get sick going out and doing the grocery shopping. She's young enough, she can do it. Me, I'm stuck indoors. So if you think I'm a slave driver, then please leave. Because I'll personally, basically, what do you think, Gail? Do you think, the whole thing with, soup sounds good. Well, Chloe got mad. She got mad because moderator basically went yesterday, removed it, but she also got mad that I'm spending too much time at YouTube. Like today, I got a school lesson in an hour, which means I need to find out what the hell did he say. Read page 5. I'm not printing the crap out of this shit either. So let me see. Oh crap! I mean, all right. Let me see this. How many pages? 3 page 5. Fine. Let's get to page 5 then. As long as I don't have to do anything. Let's see. Opening prayer, mic's off. Holy God, yada yada yada. Name, location. Why have you joined? Desire you're holding on the heart, mind this session. Word or two. What is a shimmer for you thus this far? Invitation. Okay. Pause and ponder. Okay, hold on. Let's see. So for 2,000 years, church has failed. Yeah, it's because it's religion. The thing is you got to cut out the word religion and just focus on God. Thing is, you focus on church, you ain't gonna get anywhere. All right. September 2nd, hold on. Scripture of the New King. Yeah. Do we have the December 9th issue, dude? Or did you, yeah, I mean, literally. Maybe I can email Dad and ask him what fucking what part. Week 2, okay, so he just sent me week 2. Guy sent 24 pages. Kmart Choppers Blue Light Special Aisle 5. Okay, so they're talking about that. Okay. So we got to talk about the Kmart Shopper. Okay. Preparation for reading. All right, all right. So I got to go to page 23. Fine, let's go to page 23, dude. Yeah, I've been wondering about something. John 3-20 said something about Jesus will always come in your heart and dine with you. Come on, dude. I want to get down to the bottom. This is getting boring. There you go, page 23. So we're doing something about Zachariah. Okay. See, I'm trying to figure this out at school today, so I'm zipping past this. Reflect on many yesterdays, count your blessings, take another breath, consider today, another breath, consider tomorrow. Now, importantly, consider threshold connects the two, and enjoy not fully depart. Appreciate you're not fully arrived. Share our week 2 shimmerings. Choose 2 to 3 elements. All right, here we go for this week. From the list below, preparation your paper white, one of the musical videos, Richardson Door, Blessing Door, Scriptures, Gary, Gallery, Space, Doors, and Reflections. So, page 7, Alright, so there you go. Housekeeping item announcement, revisit, collective Christmas cards, Christmas Eve, Eve Day, winter and Sabbath, participant deeper into winter. Alright, so now I know what I can do. I can wing it, basically. Or semi-wing it, Anyway, look at it. I can do that, so. But anyways, like I said to Kimmy, okay, I made a deal with Chloe. Computer, and she cleans. She doesn't clean no computer. If you want to sit there and say, why is it Gail, let me ask you a question. You'd stay in it as much as possible and avoid coronavirus, would you? Or would you go out and do errands? I mean, like Chloe already does errands. By the way, I need to check on something real quick anyway, so bathroom break. So I rented the movie 2 and 3, so I might make it a movie night again with Chloe. I might just cry myself to sleep again. What bothers me the most is I am a fair person, and yet people think I abuse and abuse and abuse. They don't realize that slowly but surely I'm taking in all too much burdens. Not a God. God's never a burden, or Jesus, but taking on the burdens of everything else going on. And I'm using my mother's cup today, by the way. Little cinnamon, grandma, with Tweety Bird and the little old lady. So, anyways, that's the reason why I'm talking about the whole thing about that. Now, Chloe, of course, was trying to make a point. The point is I came on my own free will this morning. Excuse me for a minute. I gotta make coffee and get the dishwasher done. You want attention? Is that how you get it? You throw away logs? How about we do this? We grab Ebony by the head here. I would never harm him, by the way. And we toss him around like a log, huh? That's considered abuse, you see? But I would never do that. But you sit there and you toss a log around with those chompers. There's those strong chompers are used. And then what happens? See? Come here. Oh, yeah. I love my bunny so much. Well, good morning. Noisy little turd, aren't you? There we go. So, there you go. So, anyways, look, I pay her to clean, okay? Let me put it to you this way, Kimmy, because you don't understand, okay? One, I pay the electric bill, which is over $200. They don't do it. Two, I pay the internet bill, which means free internet for them. They don't do it. Three, I make a lot of decisions because they can't. We're basically dealing with a transgendered Rain Man, okay? Four, she came on to basically say, what she has to say. The reason she's got to do the errands is I'm not allowed to leave my house with my physical ailments. But you want to say it's fine. I mean, I've been working in all these other areas behind me trying to get it clean. I mean, look, you're the only one seeing me do things. I pull the trash out, stack them up. I put new bags in. That really can kill me. Everything I do, you basically think that it's her job. Really? You think what? Chloe should just get free room and board because you don't want to know what I think. Because if you ask me what I think, I'll tell you exactly what I think. And frankly, I don't want to go there because it's not nice. And I'm trying to control my own temper. Let me put it to you this way. I'm about this close to removing you for asking stupid questions, okay? Because A, you wanted to be on Instagram, but you don't use it. 2, you come here to give me hell over freaking Chloe. And 3 is if you really want to know, let me know what I think of you, then I'll tell you. Because deep down, I don't think you're Filipino, like moderator Hannah says, and Pee Wee thinks, and Gail and the rest of you. I think sassy. I think Mark. I know Mark. I don't know. And who's the other one? Cam. I think we all think magically that because you keep asking about former moderator Joe, we all think you are Joe. So if you want to get technical and you're so glued on Chloe for some reason, so if you want me to let it out, there it is. We all think you're formerly Joe. Not everyone, but most people think of it. It might be true too. You're always worried about Chloe. And I've already said it time and time again. I pay Chloe. I take care of the electric bill. Electric bill will be $300. That's out of my pocket. Chloe's got the money. She can divide in half. She doesn't want to. And then you people bring too much stress to me. Why do you think my family has been begging at certain channels to keep me off of YouTube? Do you think about that? Or do you guys think, oh, well, it's just Rita? Or do you think of something else? I'm getting to the point in my life I'm tired. I'm bored. I'm bored of YouTube. I'm bored of movies. I want to get back to my gaming. I had plans to game today, but then school popped up on the radar, you see? And yet, to come on here to tell you all about Jesus Christ, and everyone else is asking about Chloe. Well, Gail, thank you. Hopefully Chloe gets better and Chloe realizes that she could be lost like a lot of people, and she doesn't change her ways. Yes, I reuse my coffee cans. It's cheaper to reuse the coffee cans than to not reuse the coffee cans. There. So I'm gonna have to go soon because I gotta get prepared for school. It's 3:30 my time, so I'm gonna have to use the bathroom and other stuff. Oh yeah, this is nice and crappy news. Election results certified in all 50 states. Let's see this crappy news. So apparently, House approves 1 week spending bill to give lawmakers extra time. How's the short-term funding bill? Okay, how long is this? The end of the week. Averted government shut at the end of the week. Stopgap continue resolution. Deadline for Friday to December 18th. So it goes to the Senate. All right. So it's basically it could still go shut down right before Christmas. Well, I assumed it would, otherwise they'd pass it and other things happen. So let's see what else was the other crappy news. Election results. Yeah. So what's this latest news? See, there you go again. More news, Okay, here you go. All 50 states DC have now certified their presidential election results. Fine, cool, whatever. I mean, literally. Let me put it this way. I'm getting tired of seeing people homeless. Okay, tired of people going to be homeless. Tired of people seeing themselves be homeless. Tired of people. Tired of people begging for money like a vagabond or a moocher, yet they're the ones suffering. And every time we turn around, the other people, the ones that get their monthly checks that are completely monthly, are being shafted. And yet you see something like, oh, yes, we're going to give you X amount of unemployment, but we're cutting down the extended week so we can get you a stimulus check, a $600 down payment right away. But what about the elderly, the disabled? I mean, you hear them say, "Oh, we're struggling." The government says, "Oh no, here you are, $200 food stamps. You're not struggling anymore." I mean, American people are suffering, and yet the government can still shut down, but certification 50 states. I'm tired of that too. I'd like to see more stimulus news. I mean, literally, I want to get the stimulus all covered. So then, once stimulus is done, and we know if there's any more stimulus after the second round, we can turn around and do a third set. But eventually, I want to change direction on my videos. Fortunately, right now, I have to cater to people, which is fine. Family members who doesn't want me talking about religion, but I had to talk about the religious aspect because I was crying. To family members who don't want me to talk about religion or politics. And politics is a big number. It hurts them because they want me to live healthy, and I'm not. I mean, I'm stressing. I mean, I got a person who everyone thinks, I mean, my family's been around Chloe. They know how Chloe's a ticking time bomb, but they know that Chloe could be nice one day and snap the next. And because of it, he's got his toy. Stimulus updates, yes, I do. The stimulus update is simple. Basically, what they're going to do is they're going to cut out the $1,200 per person. They're going to basically give it to anyone who's on unemployment, PPP people, etc. When they put together the package, the ones on unemployment are hurting the most. The poor and the middle working class. What's your name, Grandma? Basically, stimulus is they're basically cutting it out. Basically, instead of giving $1,200 to everyone, they want to cut it down to $600 for some people, cutting out anyone on Social Security, disability, SSI, railroad veterans, disability insurance, VA, and Social Security retirement. So that's your update, basically. So basically, what you're talking about, Grandma and me, is stimulus updates. Is you got basically $600. They want to give it to people who that if they pass it, people on unemployment and so forth, will get another little boost. But in return, they get to take out less times for unemployment. For example, if they give instead of giving, say, 6 months of unemployment, they might cut it down to, say, 3 months of unemployment because you're getting 600 off the top, you see. So you're retired. Okay, so here's the deal. So like I said, anyone on Social Security retirement, veterans, railroad, survivors, disability, survivors insurance, or SSS, Social Security survivors, Social Security retirement, or SSI. There's 6 programs. I think you can follow me, Grandma, and me, since you're retired. Those 6 programs right now, the Republicans and the Democrats are fighting for us, but the Republicans don't have any $1,200 stimuluses at all. Now, the problem is the Democrats are trying to get $1,200 cross board. The Republicans won't do it because they don't want to give it to illegal people. The illegalese won't get it. They're like, you're illegally, you're here and you're under Pelosi jurisdiction. We're not paying. So they're duking it out. But over the weekend, President Trump talked to a person of interest who was a congressman who implored him to veto anything that does not have personal stimulus for the entire country. You see, you got the Democrats who are trying to fight for everything. You got the Republicans who doesn't want to balloon the deficit, so they're cutting out. Instead of giving $1,200 across the board, they're only giving $600 to select people and hoping they can contain and get the vote for Georgia's runoff elections for winning. So then when they control Georgia runoff election, nothing gets passed for 4 years in the Senate and they're protected. Meanwhile, the American people basically see either a government shutdown due to the Republicans, which they could do, or not giving stimulus checks to all the Americans. People in Georgia might just vote them all out. And when they do, Georgia will be under that, which means Mitch McConnell would not be the majority leader. It'd be Chuck Schumer, which means any 50-50 negative, the tie vote, breaking vote would be Kamala Harris. So you'd still get more stimulus. But unfortunately, they don't want to give any more stimulus to people. They think if they can weed out the unemployed and the unworking and the retirees and let them all either fall over dead or keep pinching their money lower and lower, that's one thing. But, eventually everyone retires. What happens if someone who's 4-year-old now, 70 years later, decides, or 80 years later, they keep changing retirement age, and then what? I mean, literally, they're just trying to milk him as slaves, If you look around, everyone's working for a wage. And the useless eaters, as they say, they just want to get rid of these people. They're retired and disabled and all this stuff. So if you look at it that way, the stimulus checks, they're just cutting it in half. I mean, look at unemployment. They basically turned around and said, okay, we're gonna give $600 a week. Then they said, well, let's change it to cut it down $50 and give $550 a week. They could have tapered it down, but no, what did they do? Cut it straight direct down the middle in half. So, anyone else have any questions? Because if you do, I can answer it via my device here. In the meantime, you guys, I got 29 minutes, so I got to use the bathroom, I guess. He's sleeping, so I guess you guys don't get a peep show of Ebony dancing around, as they say. Yes, Jesus saves. So, if anyone has any other questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I got 29 minutes till school, so I got to get ready. So, and if before anyone asks, our teachings is about Advent this week. Well, for the next month. But I got to use the bathroom. So, I'm going to leave this go, okay? You guys know my routine. I'm going to do this. But anyone have any other questions? Because I'm about to either I can log off for the day or leave it run for you all. But I do got to use the bathroom. So give me a moment. If you guys got no comments, then I'm out. Like I said, that's my rule. I just need to use the bathroom. All right, so I got school coming up. So 23 minutes till school, and I gotta get a shirt real quick. Maybe I'll find some cute. All right, so I got an update for you all on your stimulus real quick, okay? Here's how it works. I just looked this up. No $1,200 payments. You have jobless would receive $300 a week for 16 weeks. That's 4 months, okay? From the end of December into April. Increasement calls for 16 weeks of the CARES Act programs like the PUA. Yeah, the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. So the PUA and the PEUCP, 13 weeks. So they're giving this for unemployment. So unemployment's going to be cut in thin. So if you're listening, Grandma and me, you'll like this. Healthcare vaccines. They're going to spend money for extended. They're going to extend student loan repayment. They're going to funding for schools. They're going to give eviction protections until January 31st. Also provides $25 billion rental assistance to states, local governments, and Native American tribes. They would increase food stamps again by 15% for 4 months. It also would give more money. Agreement would boost individual food stamps 15% for 4 months, so they'd extend it. So everyone for the next 4 months would get an additional 14 or 15% on food stamps. But it says here they'd also add pandemic EBT programs with children that are working that need health care. They'll pay health care, which is good. Then the emergency food assistance program, which means it would give more nutritional assistance for senior citizens, young adults living in emergency shelters. Puerto Rico, other territories, women, infants, and children program. Then here it goes. That's something I don't know, Grandma, but you might want to hear this one. I'm ready to basically see your reaction on this one. I've called this many times over on this BS. So here it goes. So instead of the elderly and the disabled getting $1,200, which will cost approximately, we have the money right now to cut the checks, but they don't want to give it. They want to basically give it to all the money out to the businesses, screwing over the other 6. And the reason they think that you don't need a check is because of 2 reasons. One is they think they're going to spend it on Christmas gifts for your grandkids. Assume you're a grandma with the name Grandma. So 2 is, no offense, my mother was a grandmother too, so no offense. 2, they'd rather screw you over, okay, because you get a monthly check, so they don't care about us or me being disabled. But I want to make this clear so you don't make any faces. By the way, I'm using my mother's cup, by the way. So if you didn't know this, she loved Tweety Bird, so I pulled it out today and said, you know what, I'll have some coffee with my mother. Okay, so airlines are going to be bailed out. So they're going to do a PSP, a payroll support for airlines. So it basically says it's a loan, but it's a bailout to the airlines up to March 31st. State and local aid. So they're going to give half of the stimulus money for state and local aid. So $160 billion total. Oh, yes, and here's another thing I want to say. So we're going to give $160 billion to unemployment, or not unemployment, to $160 billion. By the way, the airlines will be between 25 and 50 billion, okay, let's just say. Then they want to give 15% on food stamps. You see, this is how they're trying to screw you over, Grandma and me. They give you a deal. Oh, we're going to give you this. By the way, I need to find me a quick shirt. Oh, and then another last minute thing besides airlines. I'm actually waiting to see what Grandma Me's got to say. I'm going to go look real quick around the corner here for a shirt because I got to get ready for school in about 20 minutes. So here's the deal. To the lovely Grandma Me, your question is they don't want you to have any stimulus checks due to the fact that you're going to spend on Christmas presents and everyone around ain't stockpiled, so they're hoping you fall over dead. And anyone who's on government dole. However, the unemployed are the people working and losing their businesses and jobs they want to help. Unfortunately, it's too late because it's almost Christmas time, so no stimulus checks. But as you saw, they are going to screw us over. I mean, look, you could sit there and you could say, well, I'm retired, but I need money. Well, so does most people. Then you could say, well, I'm retired. I can't make enough in food. So the government turns around and says, look, we just gave you a 5% increase in food stamps for you. So if you're getting $16, we've increased it all the way to the max, which means now you're getting $200 and some dollars. Then they turn around and they approve this bill and they say, well, guess what? We've just increased another 15%. So you're going to get over $40 more in food stamps. So what they're doing is they're saying, look, we're going to give you food stamps for 4 months, Grandma Me. You can have, say, $300 a month of food stamps. That's $300 you don't have to collect or anything. You just buy food with it, $300 a month of food. Whereas the elderly are sitting there, saying, well, what about my meds or whatever? And most of them have Medicare and everything else. So now I know Poppy will throw a fit at me again if I carry on and wear something like this, but I have no choice. Oh, wait, what's this? Hey, I'll wear the Santa shirt today. Might be semi-clean. Yeah, I know you guys can laugh at me for that joke, but no. My minister told me he wanted to report me for self-neglect the other day because he says my laundry's not being done well. Problem is, Chloe controls the quarters. Whoever controls the quarters controls the thing, the laundry. So I just go along with things, I'm gonna ask Chloe a question, but I might do it anyways, real quick. Because that thing was dug out of the box, so I assume. Hold on 1 second. Oh. By the way, I wanted to put them up here, but I want to never see that. I want to. You gotta truly believe it. Yes. What do you think? Never mind. Nothing. I got school to go to. I'll tell you after school. Why do you think I'm always going to fall over dead of a heart attack eventually? It's because, see, look, I'm wearing a Santa shirt today. I'll just put on the Santa hat and I'll be good. My family will complain about it because he controls the quarters, so. Ginger, my grandma won't. No, your grandma's going to get her basic check, okay, Kimmy? Your grandmother's going to get her measly $800 or $900 SSI check at the end of the month. But your grandmother's not going to be getting, Kimmy, diddly crap when it comes to stimulus. I mean, doesn't anyone realize? I got to save that. Is there any in here to Chloe drain it? Yeah, I'll take that stuff this morning. Sorry, I'm doing my tobacco this morning as well, but Ginger, nice to meet you. I'm Rita, by the way. So because my username's Aries Sky Rita Lee, I'm Rita. So I do different weird things on YouTube. Sometimes I talk to you all on stimulus. Other days I talk about Chloe, who's autistic, who I look after, autistic, borderline, bipolar, walking time bomb. Other times, Ginger, I talk about one of my pride and joys in life. And before you ask what my pride and joy is, Ginger, I will show you. Meet Ebony. Hey, Boone. His nickname is Boone Boone for Bun Bun, or Bun Bun for Bunny Bunny. Hey. So Monday I was on school. You remember Monday, right? Little old lady who was like 75, 80 years old came on Zoom with the rest of the school, and the first thing out of her mouth was, Reverend Rita, yes, I would like to have your bunny. Send your bunny to me. My bunny, get your own little boon boon. Look, he likes to sit on people's shoulders. See, look. See? No, this isn't a cat. This is a Dutch dwarf. He's a rabbit. See? Don't you realize with his little nose? Yeah, so this isn't a kitten. This isn't a cat. This is a rabbit. See, look how he is. Don't you notice little pointy ears? Mommy, why does everyone think of me as a cat? Because you got that short little stubbiness, but your ears, yes, it's a rabbit. It's a Dutch dwarf. Ebs, I got to do my tobacco before school, so. But you're taking care of. I hope Hannah's doing okay, moderator Hannah. But, I know moderator Pee Wee's doing okay. I know Pee Wee didn't like the fact that, we can't talk politics. The reason we don't try talking politics is my family. My family doesn't want politics. They don't want to talk about religion either. So I try to avoid it. But anyways, maybe I can go into school without the camera this morning. They're always telling me, turn your camera on, retard. They want to see your bunny and they want to see your doggy. And anyways, so last night, oh, crap. That reminds me. See, I'm behind schedule this morning. Okay, so I grabbed one of these little tubes, as everyone knows what these are. I got a portable dishwasher, by the way. A little blessing for an apartment. I like to cause noise for the neighbor when it comes to it. Then I do this and this and it's done. So the rest of the stuff in the sink. I was doing the dishes today, right, Kimmy? I know you sit there and you're like, you, Chloe. See, I do the kitchen. I do all the cooking. Chloe does supposed to be the cleaning because I cook for Chloe. I do all the meals. I just made a big ham roast last night. Big ham. And anyway, so Chloe was supposed to clean the kitchen. So this morning, I get up, and usually I don't complain. I just got up to get my morning coffee. And I said to Chloe, gee, how many silverwares did you use? I looked in there and there's not many left in the drawer. So I said, gee, well, what's with it? And Chloe said, oh, well, I was making a cake last night. I said, cool. I didn't complain. I was just like, oh, well, why is there so many silverware pieces, for dishes and stuff? She's like, oh, I made a cake last night. So she left me half the cake because my half is ready to go. But I don't eat chocolate that much because I'm trying to lose weight due to the fact that my heart's not doing too good. I mean, literally, I told Chloe I wept for her. I cried for her because, she basically lives with anger and hate. So much hate and so much anger that it's basically dwelling up in her. It's basically a spawn, not a spawn, but a symptom of following the devil, And it's sad because, honestly, I'm worried about, which reminds me, I need to make sure Poppy emails me. That's my father-in-law, by the way. For you, Ginger, if you're curious, I was married twice. My second marriage lasted 4 years ago when my husband fell asleep and didn't wake up. So basically, he died of a heart attack. So I'm worried about that for myself, But I feel that, God's with me. So, and God's with any of those who will believe. I'm waiting to see if Dad's got something to say. Because Dad will basically turn around to tell me, what's going on. But I do want to let you guys know, the stimulus, they're going to screw you over any way you look at it. I've told this time and time again, $600 is only a selective thing for other people. But for the other people out there, before I go, for the love of all of you, I want to say something with a big heart here. Do not get mad, get glad. If you're upset and depressed, pray to Jesus. Because I'm not going anywhere, okay? I'll be giving you your daily briefings. I will do everything I can to keep the stimulus train going so you guys get your news that isn't sugar-coated. I will also try to clean up my swearing vocabulary so we can actually bring in more people that will be fine without me swearing. And then finally, the big update is that unless, I'm not going to give up my moderators. That's the thing. My moderators might email me and say, after this date, I'm done. The problem is we have a problem here. Okay. You got two sides of the fence. You got one side who basically is arguing with politics. You got another side saying, go with religion. You got another side going with stimulus checks. And I'm in the middle trying to say, look, we can't do much politics. The election's over. If you want to piss off my family, who most of my family does watch me because they're worried about my health passing on. I think my family's always trying to write my eulogy, Let's see, what do we got here? So basically, we don't want to do religion. We don't want to do politics because I don't want to piss off family, for one. All right. Two is I'm not going to have someone sit there and say, well, I'm done watching your channel because you have we don't want to talk about religion because, we don't believe in Jesus Christ. That's fine. And then on the other side, I don't want someone sitting there saying, well, we should have debates, I mean, jokingly aside, I said the eulogy thing because, I don't want to piss off people. I have people that are in my actual blood family that will say, look, if you do religion, we're done. We're not going to be watching this because we're not interested in religion. The hell with that. Then you got the other side that says, look, if you're going to talk about the election, I'm not watching because, the election's over. I mean, literally. I mean, do you really think that let me put it to you this way, okay? Before I go, I saw a stunt today, okay? They call it the political stunt. One state's filing and complaining that all these states need to overturn Biden's win. Do you really think Biden's going to win? He's got certification. When I hear someone say, oh, we got to fight it. No, I'm tired of the fucking election crap, okay? I want to move on. It's people that keep ramming down the politicians and political spectrum. That's causing me to fall over dead. And when I do, what is he going to say on my headstone my family hasn't made for me? Here lies Rita, died a heart attack because of too much politics. I mean, literally, that could be the funniest insight for the day as a joke. I mean, you got enough troubles as is. Chloe wants me to stay away from YouTube. I had to get your guys' stimulus update today, but I'm not going to give in. I'm not going to basically lose my family just because of the political spectrum. I mean, literally, in the last month, and etc., we all were in a depression, including my family, all because of the election. But even he wants me to shut up. Anyways, hopefully Dad, I got an email. Let's see. Yeah. All I'm saying, all right, so Dad's ready. All right, everyone, so I got to go because school. I might come back after school just to give you a briefing, and see if there's any new stimulus news. But my point is, I'm not going to screw over my family, and I'm not going to, do a video that we're not talking about politics. We're not going to talk about religion, and I'm not freaking debating over who won and who lost. Let's just get over the inauguration. If people keep pushing it, they're going to push me into the grave. My family's more worried about my heart exploding, dealing with politics, and dealing with Chloe. So I will give you a briefing when I get done with school. So thank you so much for tuning in. Whoever I missed in the chat box, I'm sorry, I got to go. So please add and subscribe. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestion. Hit the like, subscribe button so it's funny for your family, including your dogs, your cats, your bunny. Please hit the like, subscribe button so it's funny for your family. Thank you, and God bless you in everything you do. I put a shirt that